Do like style, say star to margin 0, background have a darker color, yeah, and you have body with 400 pixels, height 150 pixels, background to be this color, margin 75 pixels, yeah, auto, yep, 75 pixels and auto. So this is the body element. Inside the body element, let's have 3 p tags. Oops. P id equals A, another P id equals B, another P id equals C. So for all the P tags, we'll have position to be absolute. That is what we missed in the last coding. So position to be absolute width, not the width. Let's say you have the border. Yeah, position absolute. Let's align them to the center, whatever width and the height they are. So let's say transform. No, let that be there, and here we can say text align. Center. I don't think this is gonna help anyways. No, it's not gonna help because this is absolute. It has pulled out of the document. Say if I put position relative here, so it will say relative to this particular document. It makes no changes. Align self. You have. Oh, we can say display flex, right? So body to have a display of flex display type. Yeah. Justify content. E. Center. Text. Align. Center. Text align. Align items center, right? So yeah, now we have position P absolute. We don't need that absolute here, so we don't need ASD. Let's say the default height and the width is like 50 pixels. Height 50 pixels with 50 pixels. Um, Order radius 50%. Uh, let's not get ahead of the game. So let's say we target the C element, which is the topmost. The height, width, and the border radius would come there. And you have the color or background color to be light gray. Yeah. The next thing is like B. So for hash B, what we would do is like say height would be like 100 pixels. No, 150 pixels. Width also 150 pixels. Uh-huh. This sounds about wrong. It should be a square. Why is it not displaying it as a square? No problem. So let's transform. Rotate 45 degrees. Yay, that makes sense. And the color of it would be not the dark, so background would be light blue. Great, we have done that. So the next thing is like C, a ID element. So we have with an ID of a. The height I think is like 200 pixels and the width is like 200 pixels. I think it's a match. No, maybe. Let's change the color and see it. Not 200, say 250 pixels. Makes sense. Yeah, 250 makes sense. So 250 pixels by 250 pixels. Now here we go. So basically three p tags and we have made the content, the body tag to be of this size. Let's set submit. This should be 100% match with 601 score. Not bad. Let's try the next one. So as and when we go down, it's gonna become difficult and difficult. So after the Tesseract, you have the Cloaked spirits. So here also we can use p tags and the I tags for telling us the color. We can have two I tags. So basically two circles and something with a class can have a different color. But basically we have three p tags. We can change the p tags to be, we can divide this into three parts. Yeah. So let's do that. Let this be the same. Let us change the background color first. Yeah, let the body be like this seems like 250 pixels. I think the margin here is like 50 pixels, so let's give the margin to the body as like 50 pixels. Oh, basically 50 pixels from all sides. And we can say, no, we can have top 50 pixels, right, 50 pixels, bottom 0 pixels, because we need the design to flow in the bottom, and then you can have again 50 pixels. So the width of the body should be like 400 minus 100, so it should be like about 300 pixels. So this seems about right width. Yeah, so we'll start here and we'll be adding it here. Cool. So let's remove these three things. So currently we don't want it to be absolute now. We want the display to be an inline block, and the height of this would be like 300 minus 50, like 250 pixels. Yeah, this should be the height of it, and we can change the color of it to yellow. Yes, so we will be pushing. Nah, the body's color needs to be the same as this. So yeah, so piece background color would be yellow. The yellow. Let's have the width to be like 100 pixels, height to be like 200 pixels, margin top 50, 50, 50. We have display style inline block. So right next to each other, must be right next to each other. Oh, there is no center in this, so we don't need this center property. We don't need display style flex. Let's have it as a box model. Background, the width, height of it is amazing. Yes, height can be 250. Yeah, the height of P elements can be 250. Let's have an I element, probably an I element for one color, and I element with a class for another color. So we can do that. So basically every P element will have two I element. We can have add class to this. Say class of color or C. No, let's not confuse. Let's have COL. Yeah. So I element with the class of color for first and the last element, first and the last P. And for the second P, we'll have the I elements, but we'll swap the class for the second. We can style P I background to be of this particular color. Border radius to be like 150 pixels. Height again display inline block. Eye inside an eye. Yeah, we can do an eye inside an eye. So first eye will have a bigger radius, which is almost equal to the width 100 pixel, and the second eye will be a little bit smaller. Yeah, we can do that. Let's put this eye inside an eye, and here also let's put this eye inside an eye, and let's put the second eye inside an eye. Yeah, so we have p height to be 100 pixels, width to be 100 pixels. Yo, that sounds amazing. Uh, so let's say pi inside an eye to be like height 75 pixels, width 75 pixels, border radius 50 pixels. No, border radius would be like not 50 pixels, let's be at 50%. Let's have, oh come on, that has a display inline block again. We need to show that. Let that be a different color. Just to see. Say if we put margin auto. Margin top you have 12.5. Let's say 20 pixels, and let's subtract 20 pixels from that, so it'll be like 80 pixels. Oh, 80 is too big. 60 pixels? Nah, I think it is 50. Eyeballing at 50 is sounds like it. Let's see, 50. Margin top 25 pixels. Nah, it's not 50. It is probably 60 with a margin of 20 pixels. So basically it makes it 120 pixels. Yep, now it is perfectly right. So basically I'm just going to pull out the colors for eye. So basically eye tag you have a background of say dark color. Yeah, so let's remove this and let's remove this. And whereas the eye with the class A, so dot you have the class call, so you have the background to be this color probably. Yeah, is it swapped? Yes, it is swapped. No problem, we can change this to high and we can change this to dot call. That should work. So we have this in line. Now we need to push the two p tags. So p of n child, even, odd. So we have to transform, translate y 50 pixels, 100 pixels. Ah, you can translate y trns from, translate y minus, height is 100 pixels of say 50 pixels. So not everything, not everything. hmm Now push this. So we have done that. Now we need to push everything down. Change the body's height to be 200 pixels and the margin top to be 100 pixels. Yep, I think we have achieved our goal. So let's submit this. It should match 100%.